Hello, this is World University and Schools question and answer and news and conversation hangout. Today, 14th of October, 2019 at 10 a.m. Pacific time on the west coast of the USA. I'm Scott McLeod, and as we wait for people to join this conversation, I'd like to share with you some minutes and news from recent developments from the open monthly business meeting in September of 2019. So World University and School is very glad to be officially in Google for nonprofits and to be listed in Google Search, and is developing there on the Google platform information technology wise. I'll post these minutes below this video as we wait to see if people will join us for conversation, question and answer, inquiry about upcoming matriculating class in 2020 of undergraduates for free to students online, Creative Commons 4 licensed MIT OpenCourseWare centric bachelor's degrees. I just want to share with you a few more updates from the minutes, and namely minute 1, that World University and School continues to seek the initial $5,000 funding for the State of California's Bureau for Private Post-Secondary Education fees and money for BPPE annually after this, in order to matriculate our World University and School second online undergraduate class in 2020. Donations are welcome and were in GuideStar and a 501c3 tax-exempt charity in the US. Minute 2, in writing to the incoming president of Shadyside Academy, a high school in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Bartley Griffith, and with regard to MIT OpenCourseWare centric World University and School. World University and School seeks to not only explore giving a talk to students at Shadyside, which is high school I went to as well in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, but also to develop in conversation with Shadyside the college at World University and School for Shadyside Academy graduates, and potentially also for Fettes College high school graduates in Scotland, all studying online from their own homes. And with time, World University and School at the high school level, based on MIT OpenCourseWare High School, would like to also, with Shadyside, focus on developing the high school, potentially international baccalaureate at World University and School in all 200 countries, languages eventually. So we would be licensed in these countries just as IB schools, international baccalaureate schools, are in many of the 200 countries around the world. And just as IB schools are in languages of those countries around the world. Minute 3, World University and School seeks to develop first both California Law School at World University and School and Oregon Law School at World University and School, and with time, 48 more states law schools in the US for accessibility to law, plus to begin law schools in other countries, official languages, potentially an Iran law school at World University and School, and under one umbrella, explore developing online law schools, hiring the faculty in all approximately 200 countries in the world. there happen to be, I think, online law schools in California numbering 5, and that California Bar Association, calbar.ca.gov, in a way, I guess, accredits or approves as, quote, registered unaccredited distance learning law schools in California. So that's good precedent to build on in California for World University and School Law School, potentially something similar in Oregon for starting this process. Let me have a look to see if people have joined us in either the Lightstream window or in the YouTube channel. Lots of windows open here. And I see hard to see who's engaged in this as I'm learning this new Lightstream tech platform, video streaming technology. But we'll explore that afterward. So continuing with news for World University and School, with regards to 7.5 billion people on the planet, this is a coding development question where 7.5 billion people on the planet potentially would become each a Wikidata Q item. Wikidata is the structured knowledge database, backend database for Wikipedia in 300 languages. And World University and School contributed ourselves for co-development to Wikidata in 2015 and got our front end WUAS Mirahesa Media Wiki in 2017, but they're not connected yet. So as they become connected, World University and School would like to plan for you at World University and School, matriculated students, end users, individuals who might become students towards free to students degrees at World University and School, and then plan for students and registrants in all 200 countries' official languages, and then universitians, so World University editors, curators, volunteers in all known living languages, 7,111 known living languages, as wiki schools at World University and School, and then building from speakers and creating you at World University and School Wikidata Q items for 7,000 speakers in 7,100 languages. We'd like to plan and code for all 7.5 billion people on the planet conceptually. So each a Wikidata Q item would facilitate many things, about which I'll get to in a moment. So World University and School is seeking to plan for 7.5 billion living people, each a Wikidata Q item, for 3 initial reasons. One, registering matriculating students for highest quality universal education with online major MIT OpenCourseWare centric in its 5 languages universities, expanding to 200 countries' main languages. So I've explored that already. Secondly, facilitating avatar bot electronic medical records for all 7.5 billion people. So this would emerge out of World University and School's planned online medical schools with online teaching hospitals for online clinical care in all of those 7,000 languages. And for things like a record of surgeries, for example, leading to potentially telerobotic surgeries. So the avatar bot aspect of these electronic medical records would be very enabling for medical doctors and professionals everywhere in terms of access to surgical history, for example, that would be in simulation form, that would be in 3D form, a very new way of conceiving of avatar bot electronic medical records. And thirdly, World University and School would like to explore facilitating a single cryptocurrency with blockchain ledger distributed via potentially universal basic income experiments, and partly to alleviate poverty to all 7.5 billion people. And this single cryptocurrency would be backed by some number of 200 countries' central banks. Think 19 out of 28 Eurozone countries in the European Union sharing a single currency. Not all countries share that currency. Sweden and Switzerland and Britain are 3 examples of countries that don't share the euro, and expand, perhaps even percentage-wise, the 19 of 28 countries to similar percentage of all 206 countries in the world per the Olympics in 2016 in Brazil. That's where the 206 number comes from. So this would be potentially exploring something post-dollar, post-euro, and keeping the generativity of distributed decentralized currency, yet engaging in some ways with central banks in the process. So those are the 3 ways that World University and School would like to plan for 7.5 billion people on the planet, each a Wiki Data Q item to begin. So moving on with news, in terms of information technologies and robotics, World University and School would potentially, in a Google-centric coding environment, seek to explore in our online medical schools and online teaching hospitals, online telerobotics surgery, and especially for information technology management developments. So what's important partly about a Google-centric coding environment from World University and School's perspective is one, Google's so-called quantum supremacy. It's achieved some successes in working with quantum processes in researching, in understanding, in creating computing technologies around quantum processes that would inform also potentially cryptocurrency questions and similar. And in thinking, brainstorming wise about information technologies and robotics, say telerobotics surgery, information technology-wise, World University and School would also like to develop a realistic virtual Earth. Think Google Street View with Time Slider, with Google Maps, with Google Earth, with TensorFlow AI machine learning software from Google, and also at the cellular and atomic levels, and potentially for telerobotic surgery, which would also in this single realistic virtual Earth, thinking Google Street View again, facilitate management questions for everything emerging from online medical schools, online teaching hospitals, which would include telerobotic surgery in a single realistic virtual Earth for management. C, in developing a realistic virtual Earth, a single realistic virtual Earth for management, World University and School is seeking to collaborate with hospitals in many countries, with regard to digitizing medicine and hospital procedures. And in order to do this, World University and School would seek collaboration with Stanford's two hospitals, with University of California's medical system, with Kaiser Permanente system in many United states for developing online capabilities in these regards. Item D in minute 7 on information technologies and robotics. In recent communication with Alex McDonald, a NASA administrator whom I met through a MIT Media Lab panel online, To the Moon to Stay, From the Moon with Love, on Thursday, July 25th, 2019, World University and School is exploring, brainstorming-wise, facilitating a realistic virtual universe, a universe, not just a realistic virtual Earth, and for actual virtual, physical-digital science, technology, engineering, and mathematics research, STEM research, and at the cellular and atomic levels too, as well as actual -digital, physical-digital Lego robotics, thinking again, Google Street View with time slider maps Earth, and with developments in Brick Street View, in Google Street View for Lego robotics. And in communicating with NASA Administrator Alex McDonald and also NASA Ames Administrator Rupak Biswas, World University and School would like to examine and plan for how even Lego robotics in a virtual universe could help people learn about space travel. For example, the Mars trip planned in the 2030s. So could people take virtual Lego craft to Mars in a realistic virtual universe? And could there be physical correlates that relate to the actual NASA process of sending a spaceship to Mars? The Lego robotics would be the physical side with robotics, whereas the Lego in Brick Street View, in Google Street View, would be the virtual side of this unfolding development of a realistic virtual universe for learning and for engineering and for STEM. So minute 7, item E, has to do with Lego robotics and a realistic virtual Earth, realistic virtual universe for the NASA voyage to Mars, conceptually. And item F in minute 7, one thing that further developments with Lego robotics, both physical as well as virtual in Brick Street View and Google Street View that is facilitated here is robotics from home. Home robotics is potentially a very brand new learning and engineering set of opportunities. On the virtual side, say Brick Street View, Google Street View, Lego Robotics, that could easily become eventually much more sophisticated engineering coding environment for all kinds of coding of robots in simulations that would lead to further learning how robotics, students learning how to create robots in all kinds of ways, for example. There's also, I think, great enjoyment by students making Lego robotics that would be facilitated in this learning process at World University and School. So one of the other fascinating developments with Lego robotics is that in January of 2019, about 10 months ago, Scratch 3.0, drag and drop programming language from MIT Media Lab with languages, Google Translate, was released. So you can now create Lego WeDo 2.0 and Lego Mindstorm's EV3 robotics learning kits with the Scratch drag and drop programming language 3.0. So you can learn programming with robotics at the same time. I'm going to reach around and get a little Mars rover here from Lego WeDo 2.0, which I have coded with Scratch drag and drop programming language, and also the Lego WeDo 2.0 block programming language that comes with the kit. And this is the idea that would lead to eventually high school, contributing to high school and college and even graduate degrees as these technologies became more sophisticated, probably on the virtual side, since many people would be learning from home and not have access to physical labs, say at universities or at NASA, for example. So moving on from minute 7, a long minute with, I think, A through F sub-items. Minute 8, World University and Schools IT developments with regard to strategy and Wiki Data include potentially working with Wikidata and DBpedia and linked open data with regard to Wikidata's strategy, which is in the minutes, which I'll post below this video. So there's a link to Wikidata's strategy, a URL to Wikidata's 2019 strategy in these regards. And in a parallel way, World University and School seeks to develop with also Google TensorFlow in this Google-centric coding environment platform. And these combined in many ways are World University and School's IT information technology developments and with regard to strategy and Wikidata. Minute 9, World University and School seeks also, like Harvard President Derek Bach in the video in this minute, to address online undergraduate education meeting challenges. And in 200 countries, World University and School colleges in their main and official languages. Check out the video from fascinating Derek Bach, Harvard President Emeritus. Minute 10, World University and School has an inquiry into the Stanford Faculty Senate with regard to an ethics investigation and has not yet heard back anything from them in some months. Minute 11, how is World University and School Quaker or non-theistically friendly Quaker, NTF? And you'll find a link there. And this would also refer to financial fiduciary responsibilities. And the last minute, minute 12, has to do with the WUAS Corporation, a parallel legal entity and separate wing, which is not yet operational, but that World University and School Press, the WUS Press, the WUS Corporation seeks to further differentiate itself from World University and School as two separate legal entities, brainstorming-wise, in the process as a single cryptocurrency might emerge, such as the Pi digital cryptocurrency, for example, in MinePi, MinePi, which you'll find a link here which will take you to some interesting resources in the video about MinePi. So World University and School would seek to delineate our two wings as this potential single digital currency, the Pi network, brainstorming-wise, develops in some number of 200 countries. And this would, again, potentially, because the Pi digital currency was created by some Stanford PhDs, be possibly and potentially in a Google coding environment, and potentially in conjunction with Stanford, for example. So one question here with regard to the WUS Corporation is, how will a potential single digital currency emerge on both wings of World University and School and in 200 countries, official languages? And in the meantime, WUAS, World University and School, the WUS Press, WUS Corporation, will focus on the US dollar as its basic currency in developing both wings. And this is an initial kind of delineation between the World University and School on the one hand and the WUS Press, WUS Corporation on the other. So these are the news and updates for World University and School today, Monday, October 14th, 2019. And I'm Scott McLeod. For further information about World University and School, go to twitter.com/WORLDUNIVANDSCH. Also youtube.com/WORLDUNIVANDSCH. The website for World University and School is worlduniversityandschool.org. And if you have questions or thoughts you want to share, email info@worlduniversityandschool.org. So I'm Scott McLeod. I'm the founder and president of World University and School, which is like MIT Creative Commons 4 licensed MIT OpenCourseware in its 5 languages, with Wikipedia in its 300 approximate languages. And the next Hangout on Air conversation, question and answer news will be next Monday, October 21st. Again, newly in Lightstream video conferencing platform, which is participatory. Please join. And I'll post these news updates below this video as well. Thank you very much, and look forward to talking with you potentially next week or soon. Bye for now.